Okay, so today we're going to be talking about which season that you may be in. Okay, so seasons: winter, spring, summer, fall, right? And if you look at Genesis gives you so much. That's why I've written a book about Genesis. The first 3 chapters, it gives you essentially everything, even the gospel itself. So you're looking at the first thing God ever taught us, which was botany, right? It's like, that's a weird place to start. First thing God ever taught us was botany. So we're talking about seasons in terms of your prep time, in terms of the time where you are planting seed, and then you have your harvesting time. So these are all things in which you need to be aware of as a believer, because when you look at a lot of the analogies that Jesus himself had, it was all farming analogies a lot of times, because they were farming agricultural people that he was speaking to. So in the same way, I want you to look at the time for your finances and then plan properly in that season, in that time. And I don't want you to think about it as, hey, summer's here. No, I want you to think about that you have 3 months to prepare for something at a time, right? So your winter time, that is your time to think about the next year, the next harvest. There's nothing to really plant. So that's your time to really learn. That's your time to learn. It's your time to be planning in your financial books or whatever else that you're doing and writing down, okay, this is what I need to happen by this time. So then you go into your spring season. And your spring season, this is where you're gathering things up in order to implement the plan that you wrote down in the winter time. So you are making sure that you're writing down you're implementing those strategies in for what you have written down in the winter time. You're putting those strategies to work, right? And then you have the summertime. It's like, okay, the doors are open, we're in full get it, let's get it type of mode, right? So now you have planned successfully your finances, and you have now been purchasing or making moves with the cash flow that you have. And then in the fall, what you're doing is that you are now beginning to kind of close up shop, in terms of what it is that you are needing. You're auditing everything now. You're like, okay, I need to go ahead and get less of this next time and less of this. You're now counting the cost and that you had over the year. And then in the wintertime, you're learning, and then you're actually, once again, planning for the next year. So if you think about things in season, then what ends up happening to your finances is that you don't go and spend it all willy-nilly, because you only have a short amount of time from season to season to do what you needed to do. So instead of thinking that,
hell, I have all these hours to do this,
and your productivity in terms of what you're doing goes way, way down because I have 8 hours to do this. So it's not a big deal until the last 5 minutes of the day or whatever, right? But when you give yourself 1 hour, then you become focused. In the same way, when you focus in and you shrink the window on your finances and planning about what you're going to do, what you're going to need in order to actually buy and trade or whatever it is that you need within the assignment that God's given you, then you become a lot more disciplined. Because no, you don't have all year. You have 3 months at a time. So once you're focused in on those 3 months at a time in terms of what each season is actually for, then after that, finances don't become quite so tricky. And you go back into the video from last week, you'll see about how to implement the math. When you want to buy something, how much it costs, and then dividing that by the number of weeks out that you need to buy it. And that's going to give you a number on your week-to-week basis about how much you need to save up in order to get what you need to get to move the kingdom forward. It's all planning, guys. Money is a behavior. So this is my last video. Hopefully the seasonal prep will help you in terms of focusing your finances 3 months at a time and planning that year in the winter season and being able to effectively do what you need to do in terms of the cash flow. So, all right, guys, that is mostly what I have for finances. If anything else comes to mind, then I'll definitely jump back in there on the playlist. But I appreciate you guys for listening so far. And the next time we're going to be talking about the body. To the bed show. Okay, I'm gonna stop. All right, catch you all in the remix. Bye.